This is Pamela Sylvan here, publicist and mojo maker, here again to bring you unstoppable tips and incomparable mojo moments. And today I want to talk about 4 obstacles to success. And I know for myself I've encountered these, and I'm sure that you have encountered these too, but sometimes it's really great to have somebody come out and pull them out and place them in front of you so you totally understand what it is that you're up against, and you're normal, you're just like everybody else, and there's nothing odd or awkward or hard or crazy about some of the things that you as an entrepreneur, as me as an entrepreneur, or anybody going after their dream goes through. It's all part of the walk. So just to start off with a little story, as you know, for some of you know that I have my own business. I help people with their publicity, get seen, get out there into the world with their messages and things like that, and I also do mentoring with people. But I was having a particularly hard time, or a particularly hard week actually. I remember it clearly. And I have those moments where I go into these private rants with life, or private rants with God, if you might say. And I was coming back home from somewhere, and I was walking up the street, and I was having one of those moments, and I didn't care how foolish I looked at the moment, because I was just pissed off. I was really pissed off, and I just couldn't understand why I wasn't making a breakthrough in a certain thing. So I went through and had this conversation, and while I was having this conversation, basically asking life a question like, what the hell is going on, right? Why am I not experiencing the success in this particular place, in this moment that I wanted? And as I was passing by this flower shore in the corner of the area in which I live, a book was there, leaned up against the wall. And I couldn't understand why this book, pristine condition, was leaned up against this wall. I looked around, there was nobody there, so I picked it up, and this happened to be the book, The Alchemist. Now, I've always heard about The Alchemist and thought I knew what it was about, and never took time to dive in and read it. So I looked around again, there was nobody there that would claim the book, so I picked it up and took it home. Now, I'm never usually one to read the introductions, but for some reason that particular day I was led to read the introduction, and so I did, and I picked it up. And the introduction floored me. It was the answer to the rant that I was having with life just, a little bit earlier. And it talked about one's personal calling, because my rant was laid there. I opened the introduction and it answered the question. And what was the question? What was I doing? What was I up to? What the introduction say? I'm on a personal calling. And I'm just going to briefly read you some of what author Paul Coelho has said. And he says, what is a personal calling? It's a path that life chose for you here on earth. Whenever we do something that fills us with enthusiasm, we are following our legend. However, we don't all have the courage to confront our dream. And some of you may know that because you're still backing away from your dream. Why? There are 4 obstacles. First, we are told from childhood onward that everything we want to do is impossible. I'm sure some of you have heard that. We grow up with the idea, and as the years accumulate, so do the layers of prejudice, fear, and guilt. Now, if we have the courage to disinter the dream, we are then faced by the second obstacle, love. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But here, this is what he says. We know what we want to do, but we are afraid of hurting those around us by abandoning everything in order to pursue our dream. We do not realize that those who generally wish us well want us to be happy and are prepared to accompany us on that journey. Now, we come up against the third obstacle, fear. Now, that 4-letter word that we all struggle with on a daily basis. Fear of the defeats we will meet on the path. We who fight for our dreams suffer far more when it doesn't work out, because we cannot fall back on the old excuse, oh well, I didn't really want it anyway. We do want it, and we know that we have staked everything on it, and the path of the personal calling is no easier than any other path, except that our whole heart is in this journey. So at that point, he's talking about a serious commitment to what you say that you want. And always remember that the universe is conspiring in our favor, even though we may not understand how. And we are creatures that always want to know the hows, and until we understand the hows, we're not making a move, right? We have no experience and make many mistakes, but that's all part of the path. Be willing to fall down and get up many times. So why is it so important to live our personal calling if we are only going to suffer more than other people? And I think that was the rant that I was having that day. And here's a definitive answer. Because once we have overcome the defeats, and we always do, we are filled by a greater sense of euphoria and confidence. Each day, each hour is part of the good fight. So, then it comes to the fourth obstacle, the fear of realizing the dream for which we fought all our lives. And this one's a very interesting one for those of you that are going through something like this. Oscar Wilde said, "Each man kills the thing he loves." And it's true. The mere possibility of getting what we want fills us with guilt. Imagine that. Basically, who are we to shine? Who are we to do well? We forget about all the obstacles we overcame, all the suffering we endured, all the things we had to give up in order to get this far. So how far have you come? Are you really willing to let it die, and leave it and run back? A lot of people actually do. Yes, they do. And this is the most dangerous of the obstacles. But if you believe yourself worthy of the thing you fought so hard to get, then you become an instrument of the world. And you understand why you are here. So today, ask yourself, are you willing to go through the four obstacles and clearly understand why you're placed here? I know a lot of you asked that question. So again, thanks for stopping by and sharing these four obstacles and understanding yourself a little bit better and the path that you're on. And if you haven't read it already, pick up a copy of The Alchemist and go through Santiago's journey. It's everybody's journey, our personal legends we live each day for those that dare to get on there and follow their dreams. And again, my name's Pamela Sylvan, Mojo Maker. You can find me at www.PamelaSylvan.com. And I urge you to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so. I'm always going to be coming out with these Mojo tips, and I hope that you're going to keep following me each and every day. So have a wonderful day, and remember to follow your own personal legend.